Today we present to you all Autonomy and me, working together for a better future where our aim is to advance autonomy as a service. This presentation is presented by Daniel Mitchell and Sam Harper as part of the Orca Hub at Heriot-Watt University, Scotland.
People in industry to date have produced excellent technology with a product-centric mindset. Albeit, companies have established great achievements in the development of their autonomous systems, there still represents several challenges. With product-centric development, several autonomous systems have failed in the field, whether it be due to human error, unknowns, or product faults. Issues with resilience and reliability. They all have their own issues, which are represented in the following headlines.
Toyota faced a human-in-the-loop or software error, which resulted in the injury of a Paralympian whilst under manual control at the time. Amazon have been trying to make a case of beyond visual line of sight delivery, and the case studies of automated vehicles are well documented, which include crashes with a pedestrian and emergency vehicle on separate occasions.
Of the latest injuries, they mostly relate to human error. These systems need to manage with people and dynamic situations. With a balanced view, we present data from Tesla, which identifies autonomous vehicles as safer than normal cars. This is represented by the decreased likelihood of an accident in the columns presented in the table. This data poses a significant question. How safe is safe enough? This is widely seen in healthcare from aspirin to COVID vaccines. There is a level of accepted risk.
Society has accepted that humans make mistakes during operation. However, autonomous systems are being held to a higher standard where they must operate perfectly. The world is full of uncertainty, where our needs evolve and change. Therefore, we need robots to be better than us when it comes to several functions.
These companies have a shared vision of a fully autonomous future. However, currently, challenges lie in a stochastic environment. Symbiosis across human, robot, infrastructure, and environment is required for autonomous systems to adapt and thrive.
When we examine how to deliver value, we look with a full lifecycle view. In this presentation, we utilise the example of the offshore renewable energy sector. In the evaluation of robotics and artificial intelligence, the full circular economy and life cycle of the offshore renewable energy sector can be coupled alongside autonomous systems to meet global energy transition goals. How can autonomous assistance be used to deliver a better, more sustainable world with accessible renewable energy?
To date, robotics and artificial intelligence have been confined to short-term missions, principally for operation and maintenance tasks. As the asset base grows and decarbonisation pressure increases, there is a clear step change needed in moving robotics from single use cases to multi-purpose robot fleets moving forwards.
We design and develop a symbiotic system of systems approach, allowing autonomous systems to unlock human potential, where the future as we see it includes a world which evolves around a sustainable and circular economy, allowing cooperation, collaboration and corroboration between data collected from autonomous systems and humans. This includes the deployment of robotic platforms to complete tasks in all phases of the design, construction and decommissioning phases.
By initiating autonomy as a service and a collaborative framework, we can bridge the gap in technology, creating a symbiotic digital architecture for beyond visual line of sight multi-robot fleets. This creates a hyper-enabled capability by using the abilities of different platforms and technologies. Current methods of offshore deployment include heavy lift vessels, crew transfer vessels, subsea divers, helicopters, and limited deployment of single-use case robotics. As an example, 3 personnel can be required to deploy a single drone due to the requirement of a pilot, inspection engineer, and a captain of the crew transfer vessel. These methods of deployment represent operational challenges, which include loss of life, increased cost, and substantial carbon emissions, resulting in no value created.
Key concerns in advancing the offshore renewable energy sector include how to create a safer environment, how to increase productivity in hazardous weather conditions, and how to reduce downtime and carbon emissions. This can be achieved via deployment of robotics for land, sea, and air.
Within multiple high-value industries and future societal services, digitalization, artificial intelligence, and autonomous systems are omnipresent in advancing current capabilities. In the context of our research, the offshore renewable energy market represents an early adopter for the aforementioned technologies.
We present a symbiotic system of systems approach where a remote operator can gain access to information from a robot, deployed sensor, and other autonomous systems to achieve an advanced operational overview. For example, a remote operator on the shoreline gaining access to beyond visual line of sight data from a robot 60 miles on an offshore wind farm. This unlocks human potential, supporting the creation of a sustainable and prosperous future. We demonstrate how our symbiotic system of systems approach can create autonomous robotic assistants that relay information and collaborate with people, creating high-value jobs within a symbiotic partnership that delivers mutually optimized benefits with an emphasis on transferability across people and place.
The global market impact of robotics is estimated to be between £1.6 to £6.4 trillion per annum by 2025. Robotic platforms have undergone changes to levels of visibility and expectation with respect to time, resulting in the adoption rates, productivity, and disillusionment of autonomous systems.
In this chart, we plot the hype curve, which moves through innovation trigger, the initial phase of a technology breakthrough that attracts media attention, peak of inflated expectations, the technology is widely publicised where vendors use it as a buzzword in marketing campaigns, trough of disillusionment, the realisation that the capability doesn't meet the expectations, slope of enlightenment, successes and failures trigger an understanding of growth trajectory, and plateau of productivity, the phase of mainstream adoption.
Railed robots are an innovation trigger due to how new the technology is and has several potential application use cases. Climbing robots have reached the peak of inflated expectations and are beginning to realise their limitations due to manoeuvrability, sensors, and payload.
Automated surface vessels, autonomous ground vehicles, and autonomous underwater vessels are in the trough of disillusionment as they have reached their limit of effectiveness in terms of current capabilities. Quadrupeds have reached the slope of enlightenment as they have overcome their manoeuvrability challenges with initial trial deployments on offshore substations.
As a product, UAVs are within a plateau of productivity as they can be bought off the shelf and deployed rapidly for inspection. However, they have reached a limit of effectiveness due to the requirement for visual line of sight deployment, payload, and battery life.
Despite advancements in robotics and artificial intelligence as a product, there remains significant barriers to the adoption of scalable autonomy as a service, especially in the context of dynamic and complex operating environments. Robotic platforms have advanced at differing rates dependent upon the specifics of the market application, wherein the levels of autonomy, complexity of the mission, and frequency of interaction with people and environment vary. The commercial off-the-shelf pathway has not addressed critical barriers such as runtime safety compliance, reliability, and mission resilience.
This product-based mindset has allowed for exceptional growth as displayed in these robots. However, to unlock the future advancement of robots, business models must be adapted to include autonomy as a service. This will provide answers to the following questions, which include trust, resilience, and reliability for resident and beyond visual line of sight deployments.
The complex interaction dynamics of human-machine systems today also mean digitalization is inevitable if we are to connect business, people, place, and technology. As levels of automation increase, so do legal issues with accountability and ethics. How, then, can we develop autonomous systems that gain trust from users? And how can such systems adapt and provide insights to better develop symbiotic autonomy that can be entrusted with decision making? How can we bridge institutional boundaries where trust in robotics and autonomous systems is better understood by both researchers and members of the public?
But what is trusted autonomy?
Trustworthy autonomy is an elemental area of research, though lacking sufficient advancement to be applied with high fidelity, supports how people and society may be empowered by advances in robotic automation.
A symbiotic system of systems approach represents the life cycle learning and co-evolution with knowledge sharing for mutual gain, where the system of systems represent a set of system elements that interact to provide a unique capability that none of the constituent systems can achieve on their own.
Our symbiotic digital architecture integrates current state-of-the-art technologies to address operational and resilience requirements, enhancing trusted autonomy. A human-in-the-loop has an increased operational overview via a digital twin, which has the ability to produce data from 1,000 different sensors in real time with bidirectional communications. Actionable information can be accessed regarding asset integrity inspection data and results on the status of the deployed robotic platform via the runtime reliability ontology. The ontology ensures runtime diagnosis and prognosis via automated decision making that ensures the integrity of the platform.
Each robot can be deployed via air, land, or sea and have their own advantages and disadvantages in capability. A multi-robot fleet can leverage these capabilities to ensure mission resilience. This can be represented in automated decision-making, where robots may require assistance with spare parts, recovery, navigation, and increased operational overviews.
We design a symbiotic system using top-down analysis for resilient autonomous missions, ensuring cooperation, collaboration, and corroboration across systems.
In this offshore analogue, a Husky A200 with dual UR5 manipulators and a patented non-destructive evaluation sensor was implemented within our symbiotic digital architecture to support the integration of distributed systems, knowledge, and human-in-the-loop observers to demonstrate runtime operational reliability and safety compliance.
Within our confined space asset integrity evaluation, we assessed the resilience of our runtime reliability ontology where faults were induced on the robotic platform and included an increase in motor temperature, software consuming too much resources, and a low battery warning which automatically ended the mission.
The human observer had access to actionable information about the certification of subsystems on board the robotic platform. This included mission and health status and a ghosting simulation function for the manipulators.
The value created from our symbiotic digital architecture is platform agnostic, adaptable, and scalable to a number of sectors. The real-time bidirectional digital twin enables enhanced beyond visual line of sight situational reporting of missions.
Our current work focuses on unlocking human potential. Redefining the relationships with autonomous assistants is to engineer a better world, help us to work more effectively. Capacity building, where a human can do more as they are using a robot as a tool to work more effectively.
Please note that we implement multi-robot fleets and not multi-robot swarms, as a swarm includes replicas of the same robot working together. A multi-robot fleet allows us to leverage the attributes of different platforms into a greater good capability.
For the purpose of our ongoing work, we mimic a space on an offshore substation. We want to create an environment to evaluate our system of systems concept. In the creation of our next autonomous mission evaluation of our systems engineering approach, we evaluate the dynamic testing required due to the stochastic offshore environment. Using this methodology, we can safely stress our systems to failure to effectively evaluate the resilience of the symbiotic system of systems approach. This allows us to safely stress the system before our future deployment, which connects land, sea, and air autonomy.
This represents our future view of robotics for offshore renewable energy, which is highly transferable sector-wide.
The resultant human-society-machine infrastructure interface provides a holistic overview, connecting the digital and real world, focusing on the functional, operational, safety, and planning requirements within an interactive and bidirectional digital twin. This ensures the certification of infrastructure and machine via hyper-enabled human interaction capabilities under a single symbiotic framework. Supported decision-making for the remedial maintenance and remaining useful life of assets is represented in our applied symbiotic system of systems approach as an improvement for the human-in-the-loop understanding state of health data, including infrastructure, environment, in-situ sensors, and robotic platform.
Our symbiotic system of systems approach using cyber-physical systems implementation via the symbiotic digital architecture has been proven to be scalable and responsive to the dynamic challenges of resident autonomous assistants. Future research will explore the use of different robot teams in alternative applications and will apply the transferability of these approaches to different application environments and multi-robot fleets.
We welcome any and all engagement with anyone who is interested in advancing autonomy as a service through the channels highlighted in this slide.